Excuse me. Whew, I'm choked up. Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Lewis Brown. Today is June 1st, 2022. Tonight, excuse me. Tonight, we're talking about showing your transparent action. Last Wednesday night, I asked everyone to email me, authorizing me to email them. And someone asked me why. And I said, because when I communicate with people, I don't want someone to say that I was emailing them and I didn't have their permission. So that's why I'm asking people to give me their email authorization. Now, as you know, can please everyone mute themselves? Can everyone mute? Okay, great. So as everyone knows, there's an HR 1 action against me. That's still not cleared up yet. I'm still fighting this HR action. And so I'm asking people to continue to cash out me so I can continue to pay this attorney. Second thing regarding the HR 1 situation, if anyone has filed HR 1s against Bill Hall or the three vice presidents, Annika Walls, David Jimenez, or Irene Green, if you have filed an HR 1 against Bill Hall or the three vice presidents, I want you to send me a copy. I would like to have a copy of that. All right. Now, I put up on Facebook and I put in this chat about emailing Governor Newsom. As you know, he's trying to win re-election. And many of us are asking, why are we continuing to support this particular governor? So I put his email in there along with Bill Hall, along with mine. So you can ask him some questions about why Billy just rolled over and gave in to the Telework agreement. He didn't negotiate. He didn't have the right to negotiate it. I'm your chief negotiator for Local 1000. So we were fighting and we were listening to our membership when they said, continue to fight for that $100 or more. That's what they told us a few months ago. It's on video in the PowerPoint presentation. 2 different surveys. And as you know, when they did the retaliatory suspension of me, now they rushed out to make a deal with the governor on telework. And as you can see in that telework agreement, all the power on who decides who gets telework and who doesn't goes to the state of California. So once again, the state of California controls everything. So when leadership for Local 1000 in their quote straight talk is saying that they did the very best to get you a good telework agreement, that's an absolute lie. Let me say this for you again. That's an absolute lie. They did not get you the best telework agreement. They took whatever the state of California offered. And that's been the history of Local 1000 for all the years. Whatever the state wants, Local 1000 has simply just rolled over and gave in. So, here's something else that I want to tell people about. This current contract ends on June 30th, 2023. If I am not your chief negotiator of this next contract, you will not get a 21% pay increase across the board. Let me repeat this for you again. You will not get a 21% pay increase with Jill Pay and COLA across the board if I'm not your chief negotiator. It will not happen. That's a guarantee. In order to get a substantial pay increase, you must go on strike. After negotiating in good faith. We have never, ever gone on strike. We've called for strikes, and then they've always called them off because they never had any intention on going on strike. That is a clear fact. With that being said, I want everyone to email this governor and CC me and Bill Hall and ask these questions. Okay, and I want everyone to mute themselves. But this is very, very important that people do this. Last week I asked to take action. I said, send me an email authorizing me to email you. And hopefully you've told all your co-workers and your state agencies to do the same thing. This is very, very important. This week I'm asking everyone to email the governor along with myself and Billy Hall. We're taking action, again, at the comfort of your own home or workplace through the computer. It's not very hard. And I laid out the list of questions that you should ask the governor. Now remember, he's asking you for your vote. So he shouldn't be too busy to not answer you. He does want your vote, and he does want your support in his fundraising. So he should be able to take the time. We are the largest public sector union in the state of California. Let me tell you something else too. This next contract, if I am not your chief negotiator in this next contract, you know the other post-employment benefits deduction, that 3.5% deduction, OPEB, you know it's going up to 10%. You didn't know that? Yeah. It's going up to 10%. So even if they don't try to come back and take money from you while under a signed contract for 3 years in this next contract, they're still going to go up in your OPEB deduction from 3.5 to 10% if I'm not your chief negotiator. That dignity clause, if I'm not your chief negotiator, they will continue to be the final decision over your dignity. And that telework agreement that lasts to June 30th, 2023, that's going to become permanent unless I'm your chief negotiator. Mark my words. I need your support. I need you to cash at me at 408-207-2339. Again, 408-207-2339. This union is hell-bent, some of the leaders, on trying to remove me from office and trying to silence the voice of the voters. This is wrong. And when they tell you that, the independent arbitrator is going to rule on this, how can it be an independent arbitrator when Local 1000 is paying his bill? How can he be independent? It's no different if you were having a problem on the job and your HR said, well, if you're saying it's racial harassment or sexual harassment, we're going to call it an independent person to come in and to do the review. But yet the agency's paying for it, not you. How independent can it be? And remember, this should have never happened to begin with. I should still be in my rightful position. And when they tell you that, quote, Richard tried to suspend your membership, that's an absolute lie. And those suspension letters that were sent out told you I suspended their duties. And I have the text message that went to Ann Giese, our chief counsel, stating that. These people are lying to you. Call it gaslighting if you don't know. I hope I'm getting your attention. Now, some of you have asked, what else can we do, Richard? Well, how many of you want to send out emails for me? I've never gotten a request from people to say, Richard, can I email people? And I would tell you, I've been asking you to email all of your coworkers in your work site because you have that relationship with them. I've been asking people to email people in their agencies because you have that respect of working in the same agency. So when people keep saying, well, we don't know what to do, I've been asking people all along. But people sometimes hear what they want to hear. I'm going to ask people again. Email me so I'm authorized to email you. And make sure you tell all your coworkers to email me and give me that authorization. A lot of people think that I won't be put back in office and that they're going to kick me out of the union, and then that way they can stop paying their membership, and then that's that. Let me tell people something. If you have quit paying your membership, you have already given up. But that's your American right to do that. If you decide to give up in America, that's your right. But when they refuse to negotiate in good faith, thank you very much. They refuse to negotiate in good faith, and you don't get a substantial pay increase, and you keep living paycheck to paycheck, you have no one else to point the finger at but at yourself. Because finally, when Local 1000 elected a real leader, a real labor leader who was sincere and who did not steal your money, when it finally happened and things got tough, Richard didn't give up. Richard kept fighting, but he needs your support. And if you notice, when I said email the governor and myself and Billy Hall, And I put SEIU International in there because they're behind this. Billy did not come up with all these ideas on his own. He did not. How is he affording to pay that attorney? He's not paying that attorney. International is doing all the paying of these attorneys. And Local 1000. They're all in this together because they want to keep the status quo because they want to be involved in politics. And as we know, politics divides us in this country. It does not unify us. This unit should only be involved in contract negotiations and job representation. Period. Not social justice matters, but financial justice. Substantial pay increases for everyone equally. And let me tell you what they're going to do. If I'm not your chief negotiator, they're going to give special salary adjustments to certain job classifications so that they'll vote to approve the contract. They've done that in the past and they'll continue to do it again. So I see someone on Facebook saying, you missed the trial on Monday and your attorneys could not reach you. Emma Goldman, that's an absolute lie. That's an absolute lie. See, these people on Facebook are lying. We don't even know who Emma Goldman is. Maybe one day Emma Goldman will come down and meet me in person so we'll know who he or she or it is. But I want to acknowledge that person because they want to be acknowledged. They want to gaslight you on Facebook. Absolute lie. Now, the special salary adjustments that they do to divide us, it's no different than the $50 and the $25 for the total agreement. That's used to divide us once again. Those on the higher end who work from home, if they get an agreement with, get $50. And those who have to continue to come to work, who have a dedicated office space, they'll get $25. But we all know that those on the higher end will get a chance to work from home, and those on the lower end will have to come to work. And if they get a telework agreement, it will be $25. What is 50 and 25 once you tax it? It's crumbs. It's nothing. It's nothing at all. And that's how the state of California feels about you. So when you get all those political flyers in the mail from SEIU State Council and SEIU telling you vote for these candidates, where were these people at when they were taking your money from you? Remember, when the governor asked us to give up 2 days of pay for 2 straight fiscal years, the Democrats control both houses in the state legislature. Did they come and say, don't do that? They did not do anything. They let it happen. But yet, they're continuing to send you flyers saying, support us. So here's what I will say to you. You can't lose hope. And you can't give up. You got to keep fighting. And that's why I said, I've been asking people, email me. Give me the authorization to email you. Now I'm asking you to email the governor along with myself and Billy Hall. Ask why did he just roll over? Ask why we're not going to get a 21% pay increase even though we have nearly $100 billion in surplus. That decision's already been made already. That decision has already been made. So when they're telling you we're going to organize, what they're trying to do is organize you behind some BS, behind some hot garbage. Listen, all that organizing they're doing, are they telling you what they won't accept in the next contract? No, they're not. Because they're going to accept anything and everything the state of California tells them to accept, the way they've always done it before in the past. And that's why our membership levels are falling downhill. When they tell you about organizing, are they telling you we're going to get a 21% pay increase for everyone equally across the board, along with GO pay and COLA, and if we don't get that, we're going on strike? Do they tell you that when they're trying to organize you? They do not, and they never will. All right, so I've taken about 14 minutes. And if anyone has any questions about what I'm saying, please feel free to raise your hand. And hold on one second here. Okay, so I don't see any hands raised. I don't see any hands raised. I said what I had to say tonight. It's up on Facebook. If anyone ever wants to reach out to me, they can always call me at 408-207-2339. And I want people to stop being gaslighted like these people on Facebook try to do. Remember, I was voted into office. And now we have a person, Billy, trying to act like he's the chair. No one from his DLC voted him into office. Not one single vote. And I told you 33 people were voted in with no votes from their DLC. But yet I had to run across all 51 DLCs and gather votes. And this is why people are upset in this country when people get voted into office, then people try to remove them from office. Because they can't respect the power of voting. All right, I see hands raised. We'll go to the first hand raised. Darren, go ahead, Darren. You can unmute yourself.
President Brown.
Yes.
Good evening. These 6:31s are kind of hard for me to hit because I get out of work at 6 and it takes about 45 minutes to get home. So jumping in a little bit late here, but I will say this. The amount of folks here, I can definitely say that there's more people paying attention on this side than what's currently going on in the other, no shade thrown at the speaker, but there's definitely more people concerned over on this side than there is on the other side paying attention to what's going on. One of the things that, I am surprised to see is that Tammany politics are resetting themselves back in Local 1000. And to see, what's going on right now and some of these meetings that have already happened before bargaining's even getting ready to hit the floor, that should really open the eyes to a lot of people that, it's there. We have, and I said it last time, we have some lice infecting our union. And we have some lice in management at our union hall, and it's upsetting to hear some of the stories that some of the folks even still right now are going through, with HR issues and the acquiescence of union supposedly staff that's supposed to be supporting either our bargaining teams or that are supposed to be supporting our DLC president. Just the amount of acquiescence that's going on currently is just absolutely astounding. And if we're really trying to drive a message that we're here to fight for the membership and to try to make things better, it's the other side of this right now is doing a great job of showing their true colors. And they're just not supporting members. They're not supporting the elected DLC presidents, and it is absolutely disgusting. And in fact, when we got DLC presidents getting free trips back to the East Coast, back to DC, and getting put on union leave to go campaign in other states for other state issues, where those DLC presidents should be here at home, handling their business with their DLC. That is, one thing, immoral, and it's an embarrassment because those folks were not elected to go gallivanting around the country. They were voted to stay in their post and handle business. And, just what I'm seeing and hearing right now, I know we're starting to see it more frequently than was allowed prior. And it's disheartening, and I really want to stayed out to the rumor folks, stand where you're at, support your DLC presidents as much as you can, and keep supporting yourself and your efforts of trying to turn this thing back around, because it can be done. We started to steer the ship. We got somebody tied a rope around the oar a little bit on us, but I really do think that it's going to take a little bit of doing. But I think we can really right the ship in the correct direction to where this union is a union for all of us and not just some of us.
Agreed.
That's all I got.
Agreed. Thank you, Darren. Let's go to the next caller with their hand raised. Betty Jackson Stewart. Go ahead, Betty. You can unmute yourself.
Good evening, everyone. He made a great point, the gentleman who just spoke, Richard. President Brown, he just mentioned leadership outside of the state campaigning for other individuals in other unions outside of ours. And I remember, whoever that is, please mute your phone. That's rude.
Yep. I'll mute everyone. Hold on.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh. I still hear it.
So here, I'm gonna do it again. Okay, so go ahead, Betty. So here, let's go back to Betty.
Betty's muted.
Okay, here, let me find her real quick and I'll unmute
Okay,
her.
am I unmuted?
Yeah, you're unmuted. Go ahead, Betty.
Okay. I agreed with the speaker who just spoke when he stated that we had leadership out in other states campaigning for other union people and their issues. And I can remember a few months back when you had brought up wanting to help others in the state of California because their institutions were closing, and many people would be left without, financial resources and resources to medical care. Those leaders were upset about that and did not want to participate in assisting those. So that shows exactly what that young man spotlighted. It shows hypocrites.
That's true.
Also, last week, I don't know, I'm not sure what occurred, but many of us received invitations for the meeting, and none of the Zoom invitations worked. And that is why, I don't know what was going on with the functionality of it all, but that is why several of us were not on the call. Our invitations did not work last week. I don't know who was responsible for forwarding them to us, but myself, Angela Pruitt, there's several of us who were not able to gain access to the meeting because something was going on with the Zoom. So thank you for assuring that these tonight worked perfectly. And that's all I wanted to say for now. I'm just going to listen. Thank you.
Thank you, Betty, for calling in. I sent out the thing last week, so if anyone wasn't able to get on, then I apologize because I've been doing all these meetings on my own for the last several weeks. And you know what? What Darren said, Betty, how some of these leaders on the board and some of the leaders in the Local 1000 would not support fighting for those jobs in CCC from closing, losing those jobs. But yet we have people in full support and sending people across to the East Coast to help organize for unions. And this is when you have the affiliation agreement with SEIU International and they ask you to do something, you kind of have to do it. And that's why I said, well, where were they at when we were losing money out of our checks? All right, so let's go to the next caller, Yolanda Williams. Go ahead, Yolanda. Can you unmute?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Hello, members. I would like to say something regarding Darren. He said that back up your DLC. You know, a lot of people probably would back up their DLC if they were really fighting for them. But there's a lot of DLC presidents that are not for you. You know, so there's a lot of people that's not gonna back up their DLC. So I wanted to say that. And then also, I read your email that states that the state has the right now to they have all the say regarding the telework. So once again, this is basically placing the lower end spectrum employees, such as office assistants and stuff like that,
Yes.
to where they can't work at home,
Yes.
which is absolutely unfair. And if all the office technicians come together, really, and get behind Mr. Brown, and we can do something, because this is.
Yolanda, we cannot hear you, honey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Betty.
Okay.
If all these office technicians get together, because if we get together and back up Mr. Brown, I think we can make a difference. We have so many, and then there's other people out here too who have the capability of teleworking, but since they quote unquote don't like them, or they feel they don't cater to them, the supervisors, then they don't get to telework. This is unfair. And I'm sure there's a lot of office technicians can feel that. And I know they out there. You guys, you need to come together and start talking to one another. Send your stuff to Mr. Brown, President Brown. I'm sorry, I have to give you your props.
Okay.
So we can do something, because this is not fair to have the state have all that control. They already have control with our dignity and stopping stuff on the agreement. Oh, we're not going to do this, and we're not going to do this. And to this day, I still haven't got the HR one. No one's contacted me as far as what's going to happen. So this is the status quo. They're going to do what they want to do when they want to do it, and basically of the members, and they can care less. Long as they got that credit card, doing what they want to do in crowd, then they can care less about members. Members need to stand up. You guys, we are strong. We got enough members that come on this call to talk to other people. We need to make it happen. Office technicians, y'all can contact me. We can do something. Because I'm ready. Like the lady said, we need to back up and strike just so we can have Mr. Brown back in his place. If we need to do something drastic, we'll do it. We need to do something, because this is ridiculous. Almost 3 months. I think you're out, Mr. President Brown. So this is uncalled for. This is really uncalled for. I've already sent something to Gavin Newsom. I'm on it, but it's like he ignores us. He gives us this speech. That's not paying my bill. That's not putting food on my table. Just because I want to thank the state employees. That's not paying my bill. That's not paying one car note. I want money. Plain and simple. You want to say thank you to me? Give me 21%. Real talk. That's what I have to say about that. But President Brown, this is crazy in regards to them having the state have the okay to, it stops with them with the telework, because it's unfair. Back in like yesterday. So that's what I have to say for right now. Just very upset about that.
You know what? I'm glad you called, Yolanda. So I'm doing two things. I'm doing the Zoom and I'm looking at Facebook. Emma Goldman's trying to get my attention. So let me respond to him or her or he, she, he. We don't know who the person is because they're not transparent. And he's saying this person's trying to expose me. You can't expose me because you can't expose the truth. And when I said I was going to fight for people and stand up to the state of California, I did exactly what I said I was going to do. And I said no one should lose their jobs while under a signed contract, period. Whether they're in behind the prison walls of CDCR, whether it's DMV or any other agency, period. This telework agreement, it is going to be unfair. And as soon as they were, quote, able to, in their retaliatory way, try to suspend me, and they knew that they had people in the professional world that was going to support that, because this is all about keeping the status quo the way it is. They signed that total agreement as fast as possible. Nothing has ever changed in this union until I was elected president. With the support of all of you. Some of you didn't vote for me, some of you did. But everyone realized that I was fighting the state of California, which is why they're trying to run me out of this union. Period. And if you think that this HR 1 situation, by them getting this independent arbitrator, is going to be a fair situation, wrong answer. It's not going to be a fair situation. Now, let me go to the next caller, because I see people's hands raised. So let's go to the next caller. DLC President 772, Mary Dela Cruz. Go ahead, Mary. I said, go ahead, Mary. Mary Dela Cruz.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, President Brown, for taking my call.
Hi, very
Thank you, sisters, for being here in support. And I agree with my colleagues. You know, number one, first of all, let me shout out to Yolanda Williams. You know, we support you. We're with you.
Wait, hold on, Mary. Just give me a second. So Emma Goldman is really working hard tonight. She says here to Derek Rogue, STFU, I guess that means shut the fuck up, with your weak and feeble fake identity. You should not be doing anything, especially in Pride Month. Does anyone know, does Pride Month start today? In the month of June? Does anyone know? Okay. All right, so I'm sorry. So go ahead, Mary. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. You know, and I'm not sure who the person that you're stating is saying stuff, but you know what? President Brown, to me,
Right.
if you're a bigot, if you're prejudiced against whether it's LGBT or Hispanics or, wait a minute, non or rigid supporters, either way, you're prejudiced. So why are they treating us that support the vote of the members different than those who don't support you? That's a prejudice within itself. And you know what? The issue we're having here is you got voted into your office. Oh, Billy Goat, he did not get voted in. He didn't even get what do you call it? Gosh darn it.
Not one vote. He ran unopposed.
What?
He didn't get not one vote
Yes.
in his DLC. His DLC
And
just.
not only that, go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
Not only that, but when he made his fake chair
Right.
and all these sheep to the slaughter followed along on this board of directors. Now, mind you, I'm one of them. I'm a board of director, but I sure didn't follow down the road path that Billy Goat did. And you know what? No, they didn't send that supposedly fake vote out to the members. So where are all these people that stand for justice and hide behind what they call as truth? Why are they not speaking out in an outrage?
And I'll tell you why really quickly. It's hard to go up against me, and I'm not trying to brag, but when you come from me, you have to really tell the truth. And there are people in this union who are racist, and there are some people who are prejudiced. And they have hid behind this for all of these years, behind the social justice causes, and they tell you because the former president was an African-American woman that they were not prejudiced or racist. And that is an absolute lie. So the California people, you do have racism in this state and you have prejudice in this state. And like I have told many people in this union, I've been treated with more respect in Lansing County than I have right here in Sacramento. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mary. Oh.
So, Richard, we have these Billy Goat followers and this administrative people now that are infiltrating in DLCs. I think it might have been Yolanda or someone said that because they're bending over or drinking the Kool-Aid,
Right.
they're getting union leave. They're not, we hear on one side, David Jimenez on one side of his mouth will say, well, no, we can't send anything out to nurses for appreciation because you're not acknowledging everyone, and that wouldn't be fair. Okay, I agree with that. So how is it that these Kool-Aid drinkers are the people that'll bend down or kiss the ring to Annika or David Jimenez or the Billy Goat? How is it that they're getting chosen to go out of town? Why do we not make it fair and equal for all DLC presidents and put all DLC DLC president's name in a hat and pick a name. That would make it fair and equal. Because they don't play by the rules that they claim to try to uphold.
And-
You know, they're infiltrating out in the DLCs. They're sending international people. They're not even communicating with the DLCs. I know they're coming out in my area, and you know what? I don't know because they haven't connected with me. I'm telling my members those are Freedom Foundation people. Do not let them in your work site because you know what? My DLC, my SCIU brothers and sisters wouldn't do that. That's what they preach to me. We are in solidarity and unity. So anybody other than my brothers and sisters who are in unity and solidarity, they must be the Freedom Foundation people. So I'm telling them that's who they are. Do not let them in. Just like the SCIU trained us. Don't let those people in. Back before Janice's decision, there's Freedom Foundation people out there. So these Freedom Foundation are coming out again. Don't let them in unless you hear from your DLC. They're Freedom Foundation people, and that's what I'm letting my members know. Because if they were truly SAIU people about the members, they would be reaching out and saying, "Hey, DLC president, we're going to be in your neck of the woods. We want to go to this work site of yours, this work site." That ain't happening. So you know what? I'm not really sure. I don't know if you're aware, Mr. Brown. They had to shut down my DLC regional office in Fresno because there was a security threat. So I think these Freedom Foundation people are like coming out spontaneously, and I don't want them to show up at work sites. So I'm telling my members, do not let them in.
And thank you, President De La Cruz. Let me just say this really quickly, and then we'll go on to Evie Lynch. Local 1000. I don't know if anybody knows this. Local 1000 has never been about members. It's never been about representing employees. It never has been. When you see me fighting to get a quality telework agreement, you saw how some of Local 1000 leadership treated me. These same people, Billy, talking about essential worker pay when he didn't even fill out an essential worker petition, essential worker premium pay petition. Remember when we were doing that petition thanks to Yolanda Williams? Did you see those DLC presidents say, "We support Richard in doing this"? Some of them did. Billy never did. And neither did a lot of those DLC presidents. But now they're saying they're going to fight for you to get this essential worker premium pay because now he needs your vote to get reelected? All right, let's go to the next caller. Evie Lynch. Go ahead, Evie. You can unmute yourself.
Thank you, President Brown. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
And I first want to say that I concur with your statement, Mary. Yolanda, we are all in support of you. I tried to reach out to you. Sister, if you can try to contact me, I'm going to put my number in the chat. There's something very important that I would like to speak with you about. That being said, I also would like to ask everyone if there's anyone at all, anyone who has put in an HR1 or would like to put in an HR1 against any of the vice presidents or Billy Bob, please, please, please contact President Brown. And again, if there's anyone at all who has put in an HR1 or would like to put in an HR1 against any of the vice presidents or the chair brigade, please contact President Brown. It's very, very important. The other thing I wanted to say was to those on this call who are DLC presidents, I don't know if you know, but I'll let you know if you don't. You do not have to have your meetings be by Zoom. You can say that you do not agree with having your meetings virtual. If you would like to have a hybrid meeting instead, please, please, please write to all the DLC presidents and state that you want to have a hybrid meeting. Because from my understanding, some of these meetings, they are not allowing you to openly be able to object or say something. You are muted out. You don't have control. If you do not have control, you can request to no longer have these meetings be virtual only. You can request to have them be hybrid, so you can have the choice of being in person or virtual. So do not allow them to take away your rights. Please, DLC presidents who are opposed to virtual only meetings, speak it. You must send a letter stating that you are not in agreement with virtual only meetings. They cannot force it on you. So if you have any questions, please, I am available because I can give you the background to it. If you don't know, I'll be happy to share that with you. They control because we don't know. No, we regain our power. They cannot force you. DLC presidents, please speak up. Don't allow them to make you have a virtual only meeting. If you are in opposition to it, send an email to all the boards stating so.
Great point. Thank you very much for calling in, E.B. Lynch. Great point. We've spoken to Betty. So we're going to let Sylvia Castro go, and then we'll come back to Betty and back to President De La Cruz. All right, so go ahead, Sylvia Castro. Secretary Treasurer for 772. Or Secretary for 772. Sylvia Castro. You can unmute yourself.
I'm sorry, I must have accidentally raised my hand. I must have been trying to press the chat.
Oh,
I don't have a question.
Okay. All right, no problem. So we'll go back to Betty Jackson Stewart. You can unmute yourself.
The only information I want to add to what was stated earlier is one, we need to pay attention. We need to pay attention to this entire situation, as negative as it seems. Sometimes a setback is a setup for a comeback. And President Brown, you can come back stronger and better. And we are fighting for you. We are standing tall for you. And we are looking at, excuse me, whomever is speaking, excuse me. What is that? What is all that?
So here, let me mute everyone all over again, and then I'll let you come back. Hold on 1 second. Okay, Betty, you can unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. I
You're very
appreciate that. I just want to say we need to stand tall, stand strong, stand united. And just remember, it seems negative. It all seems grim. But you know what? God knows his plan. And he laughs at us when we get in front of his plan and try to tell you what our plan is. I'm standing tall with you, Richard. The information you come on week after week and you convey to us, we don't have to decipher whether or not it's true or it's untrue or remove all the fluff and get to the gusto. We know you only come with truth. And I'm telling you, we are standing tall and we are ready to fight on your behalf for you because we voted for you. And I just want everyone to know it isn't always the way it seems. And we can come back better. We can come back stronger. And I believe That's what our future is. This is so everyone can see, because we have some non-believers. So this is so everyone can see and understand what some of these people are about. This play administration in office now, that is just, they are playing, they're having a good time on your dime.
Yeah.
They're having an absolute good time on your dime. So they say they're helping all these other unions and all of these other people. You start at home first, and this is home. And we have people here who are fighting for themselves, who are members and pay their membership dues, and they do whatever is asked of them. And they are being let down while these people are out lifting up others whom none of us even, those people have nothing to do with our union. So keep your eye on the prize. Do not get distracted. And just don't let anything get you off the prize. Look straight ahead, stand tall. We got this. Ladies and gentlemen, we got this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Betty Jackson Stewart. She makes a great point. Don't get distracted. I always say don't lose hope. And a lot of people are finding out when you battle Local 1000, it's going to take something out of you. And what Local 1000 tries to do, they try to gaslight and mislead you and lie to you. And they try to accuse me of being a, quote, bully, and I'm intimidating. All those racist words they use for black men in America. And yes, I said it tonight. But what's the bigger problem? The fact that I'm black and I'm outspoken? Or is it because I'm stopping the money? Is it because I'm stopping the money? Is it because I'm standing up and fighting for all of us, whether you pay money or not? Which one is more powerful? What's causing the biggest? Why am I such a threat? Is it because I'm African American and I'm outspoken and I'm not going to let no one bully me and I know my value? Or is it because we're not spending money in politics under my leadership? We're not just giving money to these politicians. I didn't run on that. I got elected on something different. About fighting for our people. 21% pay increase across the board for everyone equally with GO pay and COLA. We don't get it. We bargain in good faith for a period of time. We take a strike vote. If that strike vote comes back yes, we're going on strike and we're shutting this state down. And someone said, Richard, don't say that. Why not? I said it all along in 2018. I said it in 2021. But now you want me to act like a politician and bend and change my words to fit in. I don't fit into anything. This is what I campaigned on. And so someone said, well, Richard, they're going to run you out of office. If that is the will of God, then let that will be served. I said what I meant, and I mean what I say. I told you I was going to fight these people. I was going to fight the state of California. And that's exactly what I've done. Not just for Lansing County, I was fighting for all of us. Yes, we had a rally for Lansing County to protect those jobs in Lansing County. Yes, 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 because that is the right thing to do as a labor leader when you're under a signed contract. But our union has conditioned, they've hustled, bamboozled, misled, deceived, tricked, lied, and gaslighted for all these years. And when they told you I was letting off the staff those 12 days for this year, the money was already in the budget, it was already done already, and they said that was causing a problem, that's an absolute lie. Not mad. I'm smiling. But tonight, I'm asking people, you email this governor and see if he has time to email you back. Because many of you email me, and I've always emailed you back. Lo Michelle, if you email me at richard.brown7437@yahoo.com and I didn't respond, then maybe you should call me 408-207-2339. I've asked you tonight, email this governor and CC me and Billy and ask him, why did Billy just roll over? What deal did you make? You and International, what deal did you give Billy to roll over on that telework agreement? And why have you already decided that we're not worth 21%? Why has that decision already been made? And the geographic pay in the COLA is not an issue. It's not even on the table. Why is that? So when you're out there organizing, when Annika and all of them are trying to organize you and motivate you, have they told you what they're not going to accept? While they're running around in the color purple, have they told you what they're not going to accept? Because they just accept that telework agreement where the state of California controls it all. If they accepted that, then what else are they going to accept? And let me say this, because people say, Richard, don't talk about this. I'm going to talk about it anyway. If I had not been the president, all of you would have been vaccinated. You all would have been in line like guinea pigs being vaccinated. I was the only person that stood up and said, no, give them the choice. The same choice that women have about how they control their bodies. Okay? See, I've been holding up on saying that statement for a long ass time. And so when people are going to people's homes protesting over abortion rights, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, it's your decision how you feel about abortion, not mine. But people are going to people's homes and protesting. They feel that passionately about it. What I want to know is, what are you so passionate about Local 1000 when you see that the person they put in office, they're trying to remove any which way but loose? First, with the police on May 25th, my life could have been gone. You know what? Let's stop. Let's stop here. Tonight was supposed to be a fast and quick night. And at a certain point, either you're in it to win it or you're not. When you see people on Facebook talking that gang of stuff about me, you need to get at them with everything you got. Everything you got. You don't have to call them names. You can if you want, because they're going to call you names. They're going to curse you out. What I'm simply saying is, when they come looking for a fight, and we fight peacefully with our words in an organized fashion, I'm not telling you to pick up your fist. I said, we come with that firepower from our voice in a peaceful fashion, but you're not going to walk over us. And what they're trying to do is walk over you and take away your vote, take away your will to want to be a state employee. They don't want you paying money to Local 1000. They want you to quit and go away so they can go out and find someone to replace you. Someone who's not going to ask the questions that you've been asking for years. Where the hell is my union? All right. President Cruz? Dela Cruz? Mary Dela Cruz? Go ahead.
Thank you, President Brown, for taking my call. I wanted to mention, today I had an opportunity to actually read the provision of the signed agreement on the telework, and I'm appalled to what William Hall, Brian Lynn Walsh, and Irene Green agreed to on that telework policy. I don't know if the rest of my brothers and sisters got an opportunity. And one of the important questions when I looked down at the signature to who signed this,
Right.
I didn't see your name signed off on that. You're my president.
Because I would never sign that.
Well, and my question is, it's dated, they signed it on April the 28th of 2022. Okay. So they knew and were negotiating and agreeing to that back then?
Here's what I will say to you. Billy William Hall is referring to himself as the chair. Now, the membership did not ever vote to put him in as a chair. And now that the chair thinks he has been able to take all the powers from the president and transfer it over to himself through the vote of a board, he thinks that he's won. The membership never agreed to that. And since they love to quote the California Corporations Code, he knows, along with his attorney, Kassenbach, knows he violated the California Corporations Code. So what they're going to keep doing is dragging out. They dragged out the court date to sometime in August or September. They're going to keep dragging it out and dragging it out. They have no intention on bringing me to court. If they wanted to bring me to court, they would have had me in court 2 months ago. They have no intention on doing that. What they want to do is smear me through an internal process called the HR1 by going out and hiring somebody that Local 1000 is paying for that's going to rule against me. That's what they're going to do first, to smear me, along with all the other lies they're saying that I'm trying to destroy the union. That's what they're doing. They have no intention on taking me to court. If he wanted to take me to court, Bill, have me in court tomorrow, Billy. But he doesn't have it in him, and he never has. See, I want people to talk tonight about this, because I've been holding back for a long time. If you thought that he was right, then have me in court tomorrow. He won't do it, because he knows, and his attorney knows, he'll lose. They know it. Book that. And if they don't lose, that's because the powers to be want to ensure that a person called Richard Lewis Brown is not the head of the largest public sector union in the state of California in this primary, going into this general election in 22. They don't want me around. Because I'm not singing the praises of this governor or of the Democratic Party that I belong to, that says that they're for social justice, that says that they find black men and women as their equal. I cannot tell. Let me say this tonight. People, I'm not in the mood. Don't call me after this video tonight. Don't call me, give me no advice on anything. If you want to call me, send me some money. But don't call me advising me on nothing tonight. I'm not playing games with not one person on Facebook or on this Zoom. Don't advise me, send me money so I can keep paying this attorney. I know what I'm talking about, and I stand on what I'm saying. Now, I've been quiet for a long time, and I've been trying to let people show me what they're going to do. I asked people last week to email me and give me their email authorization to email them and tell all their co-workers. I'm asking them again tonight, and I'm asking you to email this current governor, Gavin Newsom, along with myself and Billy, and ask them what the hell is going on. Okay? Now, people are going to continue to gaslight on Facebook and say all kinds of things. Trust me on this. The truth will come out on these people. Go ahead, President De La Cruz.
Well, and I just wanted to say that I do my meetings in Zoom. I no longer do my meetings in Zoom. They're in person only. And the reason for that, because unfortunately we had unscrupulous leaders in SEIU that would try to chime in, sneak in the back door, not even out of respect, calling and letting me know they were going to be there. And I don't have no problem. Irene Green, out of courtesy, she's supposed to be a leader. She must not have been trained. Anyway, at least reaching out to me saying, do you mind if I attend? She would come and try to sneak in through the back door. She can wait in the lobby. How about that? And you know what? I don't have no more Zoom. You want to come in? You come show yourself in person so that I can escort you out. Because until you're ready to represent the vote and the voice of members in my DLC, I'm sorry, you're not welcome. But thank you for coming.
And you know what? I want to thank you for calling in. It's almost 7:30. We're going to end this. Tonight I'm saying a lot of people do a lot of talking. No, show me your actions. And then you said, well, you're the leader, Richard. Tell me what to do. I have told you repeatedly what to do in the past. Maybe you have forgotten. Now, there's someone on Facebook that Emma Goldman is saying that there's a court date, I think June 15th with Annika. There is no court date with Annika on June 15th. Now, there's an internal process going on, but that's not a court date. That person's confused. And the other thing that I'm kind of puzzled by is this person's on Facebook talking about a private situation. So since this person's on Facebook talking about a private situation of the internal affairs of HR1 against me as the Local 1000 president, and he's saying or she's stating it's June 15th, then you know what? Maybe we should have that HR1 out in the open for everyone to watch. So let me say this. When this HR1 continues, we're going to make sure everyone has the ability to watch it. Okay? I want you to see these people and what they're saying. I don't do things behind closed doors. I never have. And you saw with this current individual called Billy, how he sold you out. He sold you out on that telephone agreement for $50 and $25. He sold you out. And that's just his first part. He's going to continue to sell you out. Anytime this governor tells him, go over and do something, he'll do it. Why? Because he's an agent of the state. Apparently, it looks like a strong possibility that he's an agent for the state of California. He does not work for you. He works for Gavin. Okay? Now, the next time we have this HR1, it's going to be out in the public. So I see Emma saying, well, he demanded it be private. Well, that's funny, Emma Goldman. I demanded? So you were there at the Zoom meeting? So you're there at the Zoom meeting, now you're talking about what I demanded, and you're saying this out in the open? So it sounds like, are you one of the lawyers there at the meeting? Are you Annika at the meeting? Who are you, Emma Goldman? You are a nobody. Trying to be a somebody, someone's feeding you information, and then you come on Facebook running your mouth. But you know what? God is good. You heard what Betty Jackson Stewart said. Sometimes you got to fall back a little bit to come back even stronger. Okay? And let me say this to everyone. I want everyone to vote. Whether you vote for Gavin or you don't vote for Gavin or whatever. You got the card you mail that Local 1000 or SEIU State Council sends out saying who to vote for. I want people to realize something. Voting is sacred in this country. Don't ever take it for granted. Please vote. Whether you vote for Gavin or you vote for someone else, you just make sure you vote. But I want you to remember something. Remember who stood by your side and who didn't. Remember, when you were losing 2 days of pay for a whole fiscal year and you were scheduled to lose 2 more days for the next fiscal year, who was responsible for that? All right, I see Evie Lynch with her hand raised. So go ahead, Evie. Hold on. Go ahead and unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself. Evie Lynch, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, President Brown, thank you for allowing me to speak.
Okay.
The first thing I wanted to talk about was I agree with you, sir. Voting is important. Sometimes we take it for granted, but if we don't vote and we don't allow our voices to be heard, then we can't really complain about what we get. It's really, really important that we remember what's going on right on June 7th. And also what's going on within our union. Remember that they're going to be voting in new people for the CalPERS board. You guys, please vote. My understanding is that our former president is up for election on the CalPERS board. If you liked the way she ran our union, then vote your conscience. If you did not like the way she ran our union, then vote your conscience. What I'm saying is vote, because when we are silent and we do nothing, it's the same as agreeing. So please vote. And also, all those people who are in support of SEIU International, and they know that they are stealing our voice right now, and they are being backed by SEI International. In my opinion, they should not be getting our vote. So SEIU International sent out this flyer with all these people that they wanted us to vote for. I don't have it in my hand. I don't know who else got one. But in my opinion, if you are with International, I'm not for you. Because you should understand who you're in bed with. So if you are SEIU International and you are saying, vote for this person because they're just like us, well, thank you for letting me know who not to vote for. So June 7th, please make your voice somebody on Facebook who's talking about a private hearing. So my understanding is that the hearing was private and no one was supposed to have the information. And I know you haven't given out anything. And as your supporter and other supporters, we've been asking, and you have kept your lips shut. So how did the information get out? Because we didn't get it, and we are your supporters. So how is it that there's no audience? There's only, from my understanding, yourself, your lawyer, the other party, their lawyer, and then what is the individual's name? LaRue or Homer or something?
Yeah, the independent arbitrator, Homer LaRue. Yeah.
Right. So, did Homer LaRue give out this information of the date? You didn't give it out, because if you did, you would have told us. So, who's giving out this information if it was supposed to be private? I'm pretty sure it wasn't your lawyer.
And so, with that being said, Evie, with that being said, hold on, and then I'll let you finish. This is why I do two things at once. Because I tell people, you don't want to get into an argument with me. Because I don't have anything to hide. But these people on Facebook are lying. What that person just basically told you is that I will not get a fair trial. Or, quote, a fair shake in this HR1 process. Because it's not a trial. And it's not a trial. The lawsuit that Bill Hall has against me, that is a trial. But what Emma Goldman basically has just told you is Richard will not get a just outcome. That this situation is already rigged. That's what he just admitted. Or she, or he, she, or she, he, or non-binary, or whatever that person wants to identify themselves. But here's what we do know, Evie. Emma Goldman, if that person really had it in them, then let them send me a request right now on Facebook, and I'll bring you on, and we can go word for word. Because maybe Emma Goldman is really Billy Hall. Maybe that's who Emma Goldman is, Billy. And Billy's hiding behind this while he's also doing his other stuff. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, not to cut you off. Go ahead, Evie.
No, President Brown, because that just brings me to my next statement.
Oh, okay.
If Bill Hall has information about this closed hearing, from my understanding, it's Annika and some other chap. I don't know what his name is.
Michael Gus.
Annika and him.
Mm-hmm.
Your lawyer. Bill Hall didn't have the information either, if it's supposed to be private. So, if it's supposed to be private, how is it that information is getting out? And I agree with you, sir. If it's going to get out, then all of us should have it at the same time. Since it's not private anymore and somebody's on Facebook giving out information.
Emma Goldman transparently, in his or her efforts to try to discredit me, just destroyed the whole HR1 process. That's what that person just did. That person just acknowledged that I will not get a fair outcome. This will not be justice, because it never should have happened this way to begin with, because I suspended the 3 vice presidents their official duties, which tells you on the HR1 letter, but somehow mysteriously they couldn't come to that realization. They couldn't read that on that letter. Mysteriously. By the independent arbitrator that's being paid by your money, Evie. Your money. Betty. Your money. Everyone on here. Your money. Local 1000 is paying that independent arbitrator. And remember who went out and got him. So how can he really be independent? How is that now a conflict of interest?
President Brown, you and Evie are right at this moment. And you know, what I see is, I see success. I see what, I don't know exactly what it is that your attorney is doing for you, but I see someone who is very successful because they are running afraid. And if they were doing things and they were making the right moves, because this is chess, not checkers. If their moves were right, they wouldn't give up anything. They would ride it out so that they could have their own happy day. And I believe, I've said it before, I believe you are the one who will have the old happy day because your people are very professional. You haven't led on, as Evie just stated, to what is going on. We're moving along and we are standing tall for you. And we know because to stand tall for you betters us. And we all know that. Everyone on this call knows that. So if they're over there hiding behind names and trees and little flowers and hoping you say the wrong thing or something to mess this all up, we have nothing to say. Listen, they believe they have the better hand. Let them believe they have the better hand. We got this. We're not worried about it. You're not worried. Miss Evie isn't worried. Yolanda's not worried. Mary isn't worried. Betty isn't worried. Linda Martin is not worried. There are many people on this call. I didn't call your name because I don't know you personally.
Right.
But I mean, everyone on this call has your back. And you know what? I don't think we have anything to worry about as long as we stand united, as long as we're strong, and we stand tall. We got each other, and we got you.
And you know what,
What's
Betty?
that song? I got you, baby.
That's
we
right.
got you. I was trying to the words, I sing it to you, but I got
Really,
you.
I think
So we
yeah.
got you.
That's the old Billy. I want to say the old Billy Davis and Marilyn McCoo.
It
Marilyn
is that
McCoo.
Cher and Sonny and
Oh, that's Sonny and
I
Cher?
got you, baby.
I thought it was Billy Davis and Marilyn McCoo. Maybe I got it wrong. Not that
I
one?
got you, baby.
Okay. All
And we
right.
got
Okay.
We
Listen.
got you.
Listen, I want to go back to Emma Goldman because Emma Goldman still refuses to come on and talk to me openly. She's saying, or he's saying, or she, be transparent. What was the emergency that made you miss yesterday? Huh. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's very interesting. This person is acting like they were there yesterday and now they're talking about it. This whole HR1 process is now out the window. I cannot get a fair decision, an unbiased decision. This person is talking about this information that I don't even know about. I want people to understand this, because a lot of you have had your questions about me getting a fair process to begin with, whether it's in the court in Sacramento with this Judge Gervisher or with this internal HR1. Many of you have rolled your eyes, and some of you have still sent money for me to hire an attorney. Thank you. I need more money. Thank you. But you have rolled your eyes. Well, tonight, I'm with you. Because tonight, Emma Goldman has just let everybody know there will be no fair HR1 process. It was a hoax. It was probably a hoax from the very beginning. So thank you, Emma Goldman. Thank you for letting God use you to let us all know that this internal HR1 process was rigged from the very beginning. Mwah. I love you, Emma. I love you.
And just provide that information to your attorney.
Oh, don't you worry. Because everyone's gonna say, you know what? Okay. So things are gonna get very interesting going forward. All right, so let's go to Chris. I see Chris has his hand raised. So go ahead, Chris.
Evening, sir. Sorry I'm late, guys. Everybody in the room. I was on a meeting with my bunk. Sir, I am going to be with you 1,000%, no matter what. I'm hoping that you can get back in before our institution closes. As we found out today, CTF is going to be closing down.
I'm sorry.
It's not going to be fun.
Wait, you heard today that CTF, where's CTF at?
Down in Soledad.
Oh my goodness. It's in Soledad. So what date do they want to close you?
They don't have official date yet, but I have the unofficial word. Before, I guess Bill Hall spoke to Gavin last week. Before he went into that meeting, we were not on that list. When he came out of that meeting, we were on the list. So no matter what, sir, I'm going to be here to support you. Even if I have to go up the hill at Salinas Valley State Prison, I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be our teamer for our DLC.
What DLC are you in? What DLC are you in?
741.
Let me stop. Let me shut my mouth. I see Carrie Dean's on here, so let me keep my mouth shut because Carrie Dean already knows what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. So let me say this to you.
President.
Let me say this to you, Chris, and then I'll let you continue on. I'm gonna do everything I can to get back up in here to fight for your job at CTF.
I appreciate that, sir.
All right.
But I mean, I'm not tripping. I can go up to Salinas Valley, but it's going to be the 3,000 other free staff.
Wait. Here's my problem with that. Not with you, but the situation of closing these prisons. We have people that work for the state of California, represented by Local 1000 in those prisons under a signed contract. Why are you closing that prison down? And you have a surplus in money, $100 billion surplus. And the last time I checked, crime was not decreasing, it was increasing. So what the heck is going on?
Shootings. We just had 2 more shootings in Salinas yesterday.
Again, the last time I checked, crime was not on the decrease in California, it was on the increase.
Yes, sir.
And what I don't understand is, you built all those prisons because you said that you needed them. And now you're acting like you don't need them, when the truth is you still need them. And this is the game that some people are running, and I'm not for it. So when people made fun of me for fighting for Lassen County, now it's starting to affect these other prisons. And like I told people religiously a long time ago, all these prisons are looking at me along with CCPOA. And they see me fighting for Lassen County, for CCC, that's still open, that they can't close because they're tied up in court because they were doing things the wrong way. And now, mark my word, now the other prisons, they're going to start contacting me. It doesn't even matter whatever Local 1000 tries to do to me. You will always know until June 30th, 2024, who your president is, who your leader that's fighting for you is for Local 1000, period. I'm sorry.
And you're talking to me right now. Because
Thank you.
if I could figure a way to file a lawsuit on Bill Hall, I would have been done that already.
Hold on a second. Wait, hold on, Chris. Repeat that last statement.
I said if there was a way that I could file a lawsuit on Bill Hall, I would have done it a long time ago.
Let me ask you a question. Because I don't rat people out. I have taken too many calls from anonymous people who want to sue Bill Hall individually with a lawsuit. Other people want to sue the 3 vice presidents individually with lawsuits. Finding a lawyer to do a lawsuit is not hard. Paying that attorney that money is always a situation. So
that's the hard problem.
That's the hard problem. So if people get together in different groups and raise their money, because I'm trying to raise money to keep paying the attorney that I have to keep fighting to get me back in office. And so what they're trying to do is cause all this confusion. But here's what I do know. Somebody has a relative in their family. And you know, sue-happy attorneys, sometimes they'll do it for free. Just for the notoriety, and maybe they win, maybe they lose. I would suggest to you, Chris, to never give up.
Oh, I'm not going to.
Okay.
Trust me, sir. My military background will not let it. And meeting you back in September of last year, I'm definitely not giving up.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I see another hand raised. So we'll go to Carrie Dean, because I called Carrie out. I need to put her on the spot, but I know she's knowing what I'm thinking. So go ahead, Carrie. You can unmute yourself.
Surprise, it's Jack.
Oh, okay. So it's DLC 792 President Jack Dean. Okay, go ahead, Jack.
You know, I was just calling because, you know, it hits home when I hear that they're closing another institution. And it really hits home for me because I came from DLC 741. I was the chief steward there before coming to 792.
First point. Okay.
So I just wanted to put it out there that to on any actions that they want to take against CDCR for this closure, we'll be there. So, you know, and as far as the rest of this fight goes, Richard, you know, we stand behind you. But you know, the current dipshits that are running our union right now are really running it into the ground, and they absolutely do not care about the members. Our members, you know how bad things were up here with the administration, and they all went back to exactly the way they were, the status quo, prior to us getting started on anything up here. And now, you know, I mean, they're completely out of control sideways with us, and we are getting no support out of, you know, SEIU for combating these, you know, terrible administrators that we're up against up here. They're continuing to move towards the closure in secret, you know, their secret little ways that they're continuing to do. They're slowly letting the air out of the tires on the bus in High Desert. They just announced again they're closing 2 buildings on each yard, down to less than half the population at High Desert. Same thing in CCC. So we're still against it here, but you know, as far as these other institutions, I don't want them to feel like, you know, 792 did when we stood up and had a rally and you know, didn't feel like we had support of a large part.
Right.
And, we won't do that to them. We won't turn our back on any DLC that has this issue going on. And just to close, I did hear that, you know, they announced the closure of 3 additional institutions, and they already had 3 out there. So that means they're planning on closing 6 institutions across the state by 2025. So yeah, we need to figure out what we need to do to get you back in there. We need to get going in the right direction on this as soon as possible, because it's an ugly situation with CDCR. It didn't get any prettier after all these shenanigans. They figured it out real quick, and they're using it to their advantage, at least up here in my DLC there.
Well, I want to.
So, you guys have a good night.
Well, hey, Jack, thank you for calling in. You know, he says, Chris at CTF, he says he's in DLC 741. So, you know, anyone that has supported me, that has been by my side, they're catching holy hell. And I'm disgusted, because I don't ever want to waste no one's time. I'm here to get you paid money and respect in the workplace, and nothing more and nothing less. That's it. So I know Chris was talking about trying to get an attorney, and there's a lot of lawsuit attorneys out there because he wants to sue Bill Hall. I know what it takes to win, everyone. When I was told I couldn't win this presidency, I knew what it took. Took me 3 shots, but I knew what it took. And I know how to beat these people. Trying to bring everyone together to agree to work together, it's a little tough, because everyone, you know, has their families they're taking care of. They have their financial responsibilities involving their families. And money is hard to come by. But the only way we're going to save our jobs and protect your dignity, you have to make the ultimate sacrifice. Now, I've told people over the years I spent close to $50,000. And that's not including the money for the attorney so far. But that was on me, because I felt passionate about it. I was sincere about it. That's why people say I'm a little hard-headed, because I spent this much money. When you spend that kind of money, then you can be a little hard-headed too. I want people to realize we can stop all of this madness. And that's why I told you, there are some people who will always refer to me as their president until June 30th, 2024. Which is another reason when they tell you that I don't have the support of the union, that's an absolute lie. If that was the case, then they wouldn't worry about me. But they want to remove me out of the picture altogether, and then they want to make sure that I'm never able to run again. That tells you how afraid they are. And I know they're watching this video right now, and I want them to watch because there's a whole lot coming that they don't see yet. A whole lot's coming. They think I'm just talking for free. You don't know who I'm talking to. I don't have to tell you my complete strategy online. Do you think I'm stupid? They'll go on Facebook and say, well, he's not being transparent. He's not telling us what he's doing. I didn't tell you our strategy when I was, quote, at the building working. People wake up. And you got to get a hold of your coworkers. And if you want to email your coworkers, please do. And get them to email me. Because right now, Local 1000 is sending out through a massive email to those 50-some-thousand or 50,000 people the message that they want to send, as I call it, the gaslight message. And as long as I'm not able to communicate and respond back to it, then it appears that they're right and that I'm gone, that I'm wrong. And then they use the fact that this Judge Gervisher has ruled against me on 2 different occasions. What does that mean? Who cares about what the judge said in court? How many times have you seen someone go to court and be convicted of a crime they did not commit? Did you watch 48 Hours last Saturday night? Vincent Simmons, the African-American fellow in Louisiana, they said he raped 2 white women. He said he didn't do it. Years later, it took a passionate attorney who didn't ask for a dime, because his wife told him he had to, basically, from New York to come down there to fight for this man. And after 44 years of being falsely imprisoned, he was set free. 44 years he gave up his life. And down in Louisiana. And the court said he was wrong. So when these people tell you on Facebook and these other meetings that the court's ruling against Richard and he's wrong, wrong answer. I ain't the first black man to go to the courtroom and lose unjustly. And I won't be the last. All right, so we're going to Evie Lynch, and then we're going to shut this down at 8 o'clock. Go ahead, Evie. Take us home.
Thank you, President Brown. I agree with everything you just said. Just because there was a ruling doesn't mean that justice was served. So, I want to remind people that there's a lot going on this year. We need to come together. We need to come together into one true union. And the only way we can do that is through the platform that President Brown has laid out. And the biggest thing is transparency and honesty. So, me as a black female, I support Black Lives Matter. However, I do not support our union's dues being used for my personal beliefs. They're mine, and I'm going to fight for them. Our union dues have to be for our union labor issues. Why? Because just like you just heard from Chris and Jack, people are losing their jobs, and as President Brown stated, under a signed contract. We cannot be divided on things like Black Lives Matter and gay rights and women's rights and so forth. Not inside of our labor union, because we are fighting to be able to feed our families, to be able to have dignity within our workplaces. I believe 100% in Black Lives Matter. Don't get it twisted. However, that's not what I'm paying my union dues for. I believe in a whole lot of other social justice issues, but I'm paying my union dues so that when I go to work behind those prison walls, I'm not attacked, and I'm not talking about the inmates. I'm treated with dignity, and I'm not talking about the inmates. I'm allowed to get my paycheck on time, and I don't have to fight to get the money that I just earned. No one's giving it to me. I worked, I earned it, I should get paid and get paid on time. So, please, please, brothers and sisters of the union, let's unite for our labor issues. So we cannot accept this subpar agreement. We can't accept subpar agreements. If they close a prison, trust me, they will be coming for yours next. If they close an EDD, trust me, they will be coming for yours next. We have to get together when we hear about stuff like this and support each other. So, if I asked before, if there is anyone who had an HR1 filed against any of these vice presidents or Billy Bob, please send me or President Brown that information. Please. I will be reaching out to you. Also, if you would like to file an HR1, please send that information to President Brown or myself. I put my information in the chat. I will be happy to talk to you, but we need to come together. Because this is on Facebook, I don't want to say too much, but please understand, this is the time. I need your help. I need your help. We need your help. Please don't stay silent or on the sidelines or wait for somebody else to start it. We have to start it. So if you have filed an HR1, please send that information. If you would like to file an HR1, please reach out. We need you. Thank you.
Thank you, E.B. Lynch. We're going to wrap this up. That was a great wrap up. Everyone tonight was amazing. Betty Jackson Stewart, Yolanda Williams. Who am I missing? Jack Dean, Mary Dela Cruz. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Everyone had powerful words. And I think tonight was about encouragement, about not accepting these lies. But maybe tonight we gave out more action. Following those HR1s against Bill Hall, and the 3 vice presidents. You can call the MRC 866-471-7348 and have them send you an HR1. Or you can call, or get hold of the legal department. And then when you follow them, if you choose, make sure I get a copy. Make sure I get a copy. Some people I know are going to file individual lawsuits. As much as that pains me, what comes around goes around. This is a war. And until you shake someone at their very fabric, they'll keep shaking you, because this is the American way. This country was based off of an organized warfare. Wasn't a whole lot of kumbaya in the beginning. That's the truth about this country. Sometimes you have to go to war in order to get peace. Now, in our case, we're not going to physical war. We're going to war through words and by organizing, because we know exactly what we're not going to accept. And we know what we want, and nothing less. You can work from home, permanent telework. Yes, you can. Don't let no one tell you any differently. There are a few jobs where you got to go in, but the rest of you can work from home. And if anybody remembers from that survey we sent out, when people said, keep fighting for that $100, Richard, that survey said, if your boss tells you you cannot have telework, provide the financial justification. We, as people have said tonight, don't lose hope. Don't let these setbacks derail you. We can come together. We can get this done. And we can get this done because you have the right person at the top. I'm not trying to brag. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you about a mindset that would not quit. And they told me in 2015, you'll never make it. Well, they were a never lie. And now they're telling you he'll never make it back. We got him out this building. Cal HR recognizes us. They don't care about Richard. We're winning. That's what they're thinking. What you may have done, you may have been better off letting me do what I had to do versus you trying to kick me out of here. Because one day, somebody's going to come and say, you're the real deal. And we get ready to take it to the state of California. And what we do here spreads across the nation. If we don't stop what they're doing now against me, then they'll take future votes from you. Remember when people were already saying that the elections of Local 1000 were full of corruption and fraud? Remember they were saying that? And some of that's true, actually. And I was getting ready to expose all of it. I'd exposed some of it already. But the rest was coming. I had a lot to talk about, a lot to expose while I was still getting things done. And this is why they're trying to remove me as fast as possible. Anytime Billy or any of these vice presidents want to do a Zoom meeting with me or a live debate and let everybody come, if it's in them, bring it. But it will never, ever be in them. And if they can't take me on, the president of Local 1000, then how the hell are they going to take on Gavin Newsom and these state legislators? They're not. How are they going to take on these directors of these different agencies? They will bend and fold. They will never stand up because they can't stand up for themselves. They'll never take me on because it's not in them. They're not leaders. And I'm not judging them. I'm just telling you from their actions, they're not leaders. I'm done. 8:07 p.m. Today is June 1st, 2022. I'm Richard Lewis Brown. Thank you for your time. We put the action stuff up on Facebook. You can always call me 408-207-2339. You can cash at me as well so I can continue to pay for this attorney. Thank you. Have a great night. Good night.